evening and welcome to Posse Presents. Had a little bit of a delay hitting the record button because it didn't want to cooperate, but then again, it's probably operator error. They're loving that in there. Look, it's live TV. I'm not, always, shall we say, on point myself. Probably the best thing that ever happened when I hit the record button was when my nail just snapped and went flying across the room, and still had to recover and pretend like it never happened and do the show. And it's live TV. Just remember what happened last weekend, Michael. Anyway, that's behind us now. So I'll start tonight with a birthday shout out. And, good friends, truly good friends are hard to find. And when you find someone who just has that same sick sense of humor as you do, you need to hold on to them tightly. And so my bestie, Sarah, has a big birthday today. I won't say how big, but it's big. I'll let her do the talking there because, I'm not trying to shame her. I'm just trying to thank her for being her and being the mama to my two nieces. And happy birthday, Sarah. Okay, so we've got some business to take care of this evening, and that's why we're here. We're going to start out with an absolutely stunning kitty. Let's get the first guy up there because he doesn't have a name. Some of these shelters just go by the impound number. Some of them actually give them names and tell you a thing or two about the animal, which is always helpful, but sometimes they just don't, so we got to roll with it. Look at how gorgeous this guy is. I mean, for anybody who says there's not purebreds and there's not, what they're looking for in a shelter, you're not looking hard enough, or you're just not looking at the right time, and timing is everything. But this guy, as I say, absolutely stunning. He was abandoned, found covered in ticks and not neutered. He's been fully vetted and neutered, and he is ready to go home. He's at Old Lyme Animal Control, and if you are interested in this guy, you can call 860-434-1605, extension 244. Once again, that's 860-434-1605, and it's extension 244. He's just gorgeous. I imagine that he's a lot of fun too, and from what I understand, Siamese cats are very vocal, so I bet you he's just a party waiting to happen. He's gorgeous. That's all I got to say about him. Anyway, next up we have Carter. And Carter is a 2.5-year-old sweetheart who sounds as perfect as he looks. He is sweet and friendly. He's house trained. He walks nicely on a leash. He knows several commands and would get along with another low-key dog. Carter would be best with kids teenage and above, and that's because of his size, his strength, and his energy level. A lot of times people don't understand that. Unless you've got a very savvy brood of kids or child or whatever, bringing in a dog that's going to be full of energy and maybe knocking the child down and taking toys and not knowing that they're not his or hers, it poses a problem. So if you try to put a dog in a home with older children who aren't going to get knocked down, who aren't going to get hurt, where it's not going to cause, drama, for lack of a better word, you're protecting the dog. You're trying not to fail the dog. So, like I said, I know some people don't really get that, but there are so many good reasons for it. You don't want the little ones getting overwhelmed, and then there's really not a relationship between the dog and the child. And so what happens? The kid's afraid of the dog, and you got to keep the dog away from the kid, and then what kind of life does anybody have? So there you have it. That's, once again, the reason why a lot of these bigger, younger, energetic dogs, the rescues will say, or the shelters will say, they need to be with older children. So anyway, if you are interested in Carter, he is at the Town of Hempstead Animal Shelter, and the number there is 516-785-5220. Once again, that's 516-785-5220. Or you can check him out on Facebook. He has his own page, and it would be A Dog Named Carter. Next, if you are in the Pomeroy, Ohio area, here's one you can't resist. Let's take a look at Batman. Look at the face. He is just too adorable. There's a couple pictures, no? Look at him. He just has the cutest little face and those big old ears that stand up like that. Unfortunately, this is another shelter that doesn't put a lot of information. They're playing on his good looks, and I guess so am I. That's priceless with his tongue out. I just want to smoosh his little face and give him kisses, and really kind of wish that it wasn't in Ohio. But then again, that's why I always tell people, there's always the possibility of transport. So anyway, Batman, in all of his cuteness, is about 2.5 years old, and he's available now. And he is at the Meigs County Canine Rescue and Adoption Center. That's MIEGS County Canine Rescue and Adoption Center. And their number is 740-992-3779. That's 740-992-3779. Next up, we have a senior alert. Champion. Look at this sweet face. Champion is 12 years old and has had no interest. Champion is sweet, playful, friendly, and loving, and needs to be an only pet. And of course, that makes it much more difficult to find a home, but it's not impossible. Poor Champion, you could see the sadness in every one of these pictures. You can see the sadness. This dog has no idea why, after 12 years, she's sitting in a shelter and doesn't have her home, doesn't have a comfy couch, doesn't have someone to love her. Now, I always say, in the shelters that I know, and I know Yonkers very well, their dogs are doted on, and they're spoiled, and they get treats, and I see Leslie in action with the little meatballs and everything else she does, and treats and goodies and whatever. But it's not the same as being home and sleeping in your own bed at night, and hopefully maybe your owner's bed, because that's how we roll. Dogs don't understand, and they get shut down, and I believe that's what's happening here. I mean, just look, there's not much of a light in those eyes, and the dog really, really needs a home. No dog should have to sit in a shelter, but a senior especially, it's just heartbreaking when they're stuck in a shelter, when they've given their whole lives to a family or a person, and something happens and there they are out in the street, some of them quite literally. So if you are interested in Champion, please contact Yonkers Animal Shelter. You can speak to Leslie at 201-981-3215. Once again, that's 201-981-3215. Let's see if we could put a smile on her pretty face, okay? Next up, we have Rue. And beautiful Rue is full of energy and love. She's playful. She loves to give kisses. And she is ball obsessed. So much so that she can be found taking naps with her ball still in her mouth sometimes. She's a real social butterfly. Rue seeks new friends wherever she goes, both human and canine. And she's actually that kind of dog who just wants to go over and say hi to cats too. And she hasn't really had any success, I think, because the cats are afraid, but that is how it rolls. Anyway, if you are interested in finding out more about Rue or to apply to adopt Rue, you can visit pitstopny.org. That's pitstopny.org. And I could tell you, Rue sounds like just a total winner. Anytime you have a dog that's like that kind of social butterfly and friendly with everybody and everything, she should be snapped up in a heartbeat. Plus, she's beautiful. Look at her with her brindle glory. And again, there's the sad part: black dogs and brindle dogs, most overlooked in the shelters. All right, so excuse me. Anniversaries are usually happy occasions, but for Cola, marking the anniversary of being at a shelter, for any animal, marking an anniversary of being at an animal shelter, it's really nothing to celebrate. Poor Cola has been at Yonkers Animal Shelter for 3 years. And I've showed Cola on the show before. Absolutely unbelievable that this poor dog is, still homeless. Yes, much loved at the shelter and doted on. But, at the end of the day, when the lights go out and there's nobody there anymore and, the dogs are all left to themselves in their kennels, it's certainly not the same as being home with a family or a person in their own bed with, all the trappings and luxuries of home. So Cola is 4, and he's really mellow. He has go-anywhere impeccable manners. His prized possessions are his tennis balls. And, if you look at any of the pictures that are posted of him, sometimes he has actually several going at one time because they really are his prized possessions. He loves going for walks and taking in the sights and smells. He knows basic commands, and since he is so very treat and praise motivated, he would be an ace at advanced training. Cola as well does prefer to be the only pet in the home. And, that's a niche adoption, as I call it. And I understand that most people who have pets have multiple pets. And so the majority of would-be pet owners wouldn't be able to take a dog like Cola or Champion or so many of the other ones. But there's got to be somebody. There's got to be a first-timer. There's got to be somebody who's only had one and just lost their pet. And maybe that's the person saying, oh, I can't do it again. That's the person that you kind of got to convince. You got to introduce them to these dogs who've been waiting so long. You've kind of got to let the magic happen. If anybody out there is along that same wavelength and train of thought, like, oh, I can't do it anymore, it hurts too much when I lose them. Think about how much it hurts for these dogs to sit year after year after year waiting for someone to actually pick them. The pain that we go through is devastating, but think about these poor animals, these poor souls just wasting away with so much love to give and so much happiness to share. I think, honestly, that the people who say never again are being a little selfish, because there's just too many deserving animals out there that would be the perfect fit. And, Cola is truly just the perfect dog. And there he sits, 3 years. And I believe his Facebook page is Cola is Coming to Town. And if you would like to speak to Leslie about COLA, 201-981-3215. Once again, that's 201-981-3215. Next up, we have Yeti. And look at that face. He is a senior kitty who needs a home for his retirement years. He is sweet, he loves attention, and he's already neutered. If you've got room at the inn, contact NECOG Animal Services, and their number is 860-774-1253. That's 860-774-1253. And he just looks like the sweetest old guy who would be so chill, so happy to just have a windowsill to sit in, to have your lap to snuggle up in. You know, I don't know, they don't say much more about whether he gets along with dogs or cats or anything like that. You know, that's kind of trial and error, unfortunately. But how sad to see this old guy who looks so sweet hanging out in a bank of cages. I mean, all of these animals deserve much more than they've got right now. And, you know, your opening your home up is the key. And, you know, if you know anybody who's looking to adopt, by all means, you know, all of these animals are shared on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. So you could kind of slip a little picture in there and see if somebody is going to take the bait, because, you know, once you fall in love with a little face, it's hard to get them out of your mind. Anyway, all right, moving right along. Looking for something to do tonight, Bikers Against Animal Cruelty is having a function. It's at Crystal Bees. You still have time to get yourself together and make it there. It runs from 7 to midnight. And Crystal Bees is at 240 Spring Street in Southington. And you'll be supporting a wonderful organization. We all know how I feel about Bikers Against Animal Cruelty. So there will be bowling, there's arcades, there's games, there's bars and a bistro, there'll be raffles. Again, 7 to midnight. Music is by Sacred Fire, and they are a Santana tribute band. I have to imagine that that's pretty wonderful. And by Murray the Wheel. And it just, you know, BAC always puts on such a great event, no matter what it is, no matter where it is, no matter why it is. They really have it all together when it comes to teamwork and making things look effortless. And the work that they do, you know, you've seen them on the show time and time again. The work that they do to help animals is just incredible. So if you can head on out tonight, looking for something to do, why not? All right, so on Wednesday, nice middle of the week event, if you can get to Albany, New York, you can join Hudson the Railroad Puppy. And that would be at his event, Halloween Heroes for Huddy's Buddies. It's at Swifty's Restaurant and Pub, 95 Everett Road in Albany, New York. There will be a dog costume contest, a photo booth, raffles, food, and if you haven't already, you get to meet Hudson the Railroad Puppy, because he will be there too. So obviously this is an event where if you've got a well-behaved dog, you can bring your dog along, and no retractable leashes is part of the deal. And you can go and hang out and have a really great time. And one of the things that they're going to do, this event runs from 6 to 11 p.m. And at 8 o'clock, they're going to be watching the American Humane Association Hero Dog Awards. And if you remember, in 2015, Hudson himself was the Hero Dog winner in the therapy dog category. So it's well-timed and appropriate for both Halloween and the Hero Dog Awards. And I know Rich would love to see anybody who'd come out and look at Hudson there in the picture. I love Hudson. He's such a cool dog. Anyway, tomorrow we have the Sweet Pea Halloween Dog Walk. And that is going to be 10 to 3:30, I think. I thought it was on the poster and I didn't write down the notes because, hey, why would I do something smart like that? Anyway, it's always a great time. There's barbecue, there's, all kinds of food, there's, raffles. They have some great raffle prizes. I've been watching all of them get posted. And it's just a really great day. If you want to walk, if you go to sweetpeaforA.org, you can see, you can probably still sign up if you want to do the walk with your dog. But for the most, or you don't even have to walk with your dog, you can just walk. But for the most part, people just hang out and have a good time. There's a lot of Halloween decorations. I know Serena was doing 10 carved pumpkins and she was doing a fabulous job. I saw the preview of some of those. So many cool things. And, I alluded to dressing up, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be far too cold tomorrow for me to consider anything like that. I don't need to be, an Elvira with pneumonia, that's for sure. But anyway, if you're going to come out, I'll be there, and make sure you come say hi. So the following Sunday, October 28th, we've got For the Love of Jack with their annual pasta dinner, and that's going to be from 11:30 to 3 at Marino's Restaurant, 12 Pinewoods Road in Torrington, and that's always another really good time. Sherry does throw a really good event as well. Dessert will be by Cake Gypsy, and oh my God, that's amazing. The raffle prizes are, she pours her heart and soul into getting all those together. The food is good too, and the company is just the best because, I went for the first time last year and there was so many people that, in and out of the rescue world that were there, and, it was just really nice to rub elbows, so to speak, and hobnob and have a really great time. So that's it for events I have for now. If anybody wants an event, I'll take the camera back. If anybody wants an event shouted out, by all means, reach out to me and I'm happy to do that. That's part of what I like to do because, every little bit helps when you're trying to promote something. And so for those of you who have been following along with the Sweet Pea updates, I don't have pictures this week, but the inside of the building is starting to happen. I showed all the pictures of the outside. Well, the outside is pretty well complete, and now it's down to the interior walls and insulation, and there's still a long way to go because of course it needs furnishing and it needs the kennels and the grooming area. And Juno's Place is working on a cageless cat room, and there's going to be some really exciting things going on to try to make that happen, so stay tuned there. There's actually a separate Facebook page for her efforts, and that is always up on her page as well, so check out Juno's Place and see what she's up to. And if you want to get on board with trying to help us get the cageless cat room in place, that would be awesome. I don't know what, originally they were saying that the opening date would be, early 2019. And I guess if everything stays pretty much on track the way it is, that could happen. And boy, that'll be a beautiful day. It really will. So let's take another cruise through the adoptables. Uh-oh. That hasn't lined up right in a while, has it? Oh, yeah, I noticed it too. Yeah, I know. Huh? So yeah, any and all of these animals are up for adoption, and they're posted on the Pal and Posse Presents Facebook page. If you have an animal that you would like to be put up on the show, feel free to reach out to me. Again, that's part of what I like to do. And if you've got an animal you'd like to bring on the show, if you're a rescue or even an individual independent rescuer, as they call it, please feel free, to reach out if you want to bring an animal on the show and give them a little bit more exposure. I'd be glad to do that for you and with you. It'd be your half hour, and it's always fun when we do it. So anyway, I will take the camera back. Once again, a very happy birthday to Sarah, who is a friend of all friends. And how much time we have left? 1 minute. Okay. Oh boy, my phone is just blowing up, and I apologize if you can hear that. I have the feeling I know who it is and I know what it's about, but that's between me and the phone. So come on out tomorrow if you can to the Sweet Pea Dog Walk. If you're looking for something to do tonight, you've got the Bikers Against Animal Cruelty event, Sherry's event next Sunday, Hudson's event on Wednesday. You can have a very full week if you so desire. Anyway, I think I'm done, actually. So I'm just going to say peace, love, and dogs. Until next week, thank you for watching and good night.